Hello, hello. Driving back to the office in a rush hour. Earlier, I had a piece of sunset and red orange sky. Kind of, maybe orange. Was good. And it did not rain on me while I did some work outside. And in the morning it was rainy. Last night was a bit of a rain. So it's like these gods, the aliens are making some good weather for me. They're like, I sense that you had some positive, good thoughts today, and we'll do the magic. We'll change things around. So how things they change, how things can be changed by whoever is behind all this design. They can, because you hang on this world through your senses. When you dream, you think is some brain made up stuff. Yeah, some of that might be brain made up, but many times you travel, and you can even have feelings of a reality while in the dream. So you are dreaming and you sense that someone is touching your face or something, Or sometimes you get so scared, so you actually simulate some sort of adrenaline rush. So that's another reality. So all this, what you see, what you feel, what you sense, and what you understand is made up. The godless people, of course, they limit themselves. To me, God is like not only a creator, but is a tool. It's a tool. It helps me, maybe God or whoever. I don't know. Do I need to know? If my reality makes me feel good, my who I am as a soul, as a piece of energy, gives me the feelings through the material senses and thinking. It gives me a reality that makes me feel good. Do I need to care who's God? Who created me? Who created the world around? Oh. I mean, I'm a curious mind, but I have a job to do. And if I start thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, I don't have time to do the job. And what's the job for? Why I need to go to work? I need to feed my belly and maybe my kids. And why I need to do that? Why people need food? So, welcome to my fantasy. Welcome to my fantasy channel. So, lots of my videos are about some sort of fantasy thinking. Nothing is real. It's all in my head, and it's all made up. The way we are made up. And there is no God. And if there is God, I don't know if we need to know. Maybe that's the design. If you know too much, then you limit yourself. Or if you know who's God, then it's kind of a unlocking the mystery. So why need to live? So you know everything. You know how you've been created. You know how things work. You know what's behind what you feel. Who are you as a little creature, a little piece of an energy program? I might get into that later, but there are a number of videos that I did record regarding this type of stuff. Like what I believe are we? We are a kind of a speck of a code that is growing. It's like artificial intelligence, but much more complicated. So I don't think people need to know who's God. It's just fine to enjoy life the way you were supposed to enjoy. So let's say if there was a creature, an entity who created us, that creature had the power to program you with different feelings. Even good feeling can be programmed. What is a good feeling? You learn by listening to your senses. You learn by listening to your body, listening to your mind, learn what's good, what's not good. So things about what's good and what's not good, and how your body responds to different sensors is all biochemical, and it's all programmed. So if this entity wanted you to feel hurt or suffer or something, so much intelligence, so much ability, and so much power could make you whatever. It's like you've done something stupid into this lifetime or another lifetime, and this entity who controls everything and design all the universe and planets or something, and say, you know what, I have another little planet where I have another game where all these creatures are in a lower tune, where everyone is surviving. There's like trying to stay alive and killing each other, because I programmed that world and all these little creatures that I designed and I made up in a way that, you know, they go towards destruction, or they go towards. So that's my experiment as a creator. I experiment with this and that. I experiment with different shapes of creatures. Sometimes I drop one off into the physical realm, like a new species, and this, when my little creatures, they call themselves humans, they see a new species, they say, what? Where this one came from? Genetic mutation or something? Okay. So why we eat? I can talk about and go around and stuff, you know, make up all sort of things. My brain is so creative these days. Why we eat? So why we need to eat? So there are a number of reasons beside what we understand as social creatures, and we assign some meanings. Let's say we see the benefit of eating, like a social gathering. We feel pleasure while we eat the food. We connect. We are grateful, which doesn't mean we please the God. Hey, God have different type of, let's say, not senses but experiences. So we are programmed to sense pleasure, pain, emotions, love, connection, bond, dopamine, all those things. Yeah. So we are programmed according to the Creator, the way the Creator wanted us to feel, or maybe the programmer somewhere in the garage, the way someone comes up with this type of fun idea. So we got this type of experiences because the way we are programmed through our biochemistry, and which comes from the DNA, from the code, and the DNA comes from. So I went deeper and deeper and deeper, all the way to how the world is made out of energy. So if you want to check out my fantasy in different other videos, be my guest. It's all there. But don't tell my bosses because they might think I'm weird, right? I'm just joking. Everyone knows who I am because I don't give a crap if what they think. So there are reasons for us to want to need to eat, programmed, so we can expand the eating experience into something more complex that makes us want to do things, because everything is connected. But let's say if we are so poor and so low, barely making it, and the only thing we need food. This is like, oh, cars. Why I need a car when I'm so hungry? Airplanes or building structures and stuff. No, 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 no. First, I need to feed my body. I can survive outside in the element, in the rain or something. I can find a shelter. I can dig a hole. But if I don't have supplies to feed my body first, then I won't be able to build my nest. So first I need to get some energy for my body so I can build the nest. So why we need that? Why the creator, let's say if you believe in a God, if you don't believe in a God, that's fine. I'll go back to a similar explanation, a kind of another flavor. So you think that in this ecosystem things are automatic because of evolution. So let's say we start with a microorganism that came from some ocean with some salt and with some sort of a lining, the way they describe in the books for kids. And now you have the microorganisms, some microbes, then they evolve, they start becoming some sort of a complex, and they start growing legs. Some of those go in the water, and so, okay, so those are nice theories. But why they eat each other? Like, why the one of those who evolved start eating those who are less evolved or have less defense mechanism? Why is that? Why they just don't keep going? Or why they don't feed on something? Let's say everyone feeds on grass. Why some of the animals have to eat other animals? Is it nice? It's not nice. Why they don't keep eating grass or plankton? That's possible. Why they are not like that? And then evolving, why we don't have all these animals eating veggies, like right? And in that case, maybe the plants would evolve containing proteins, so we could eat plants. Yeah, we eat plants, and we are all vegetarians, including the billions of years evolution that led to humans. And now we have all the humans nice, don't eat cows, don't eat pigs, don't go hunting, don't kill each other. Everyone is a vegetarian, and everyone is meditating and is nice, right? So we just little bit of some plants, maybe climb a tree, eat some fruits. Life is so good. Well, why is not like that? So one thing, the food, is a reason for you to get up and conquer. So in your fight for survival, in your need for feeding your body, you have to do something. You have to do something and be creative, because finding food requires some sort of creativity and aggressivity, and and that leads to growth. If I look at the salesperson who is nice and shy and thinking of what the customer wants first or needs, but that sale will end up hungry. If it's like the guys, the guys who are not aggressive, and they say, oh yeah, you know what, that female, that woman is like, I think she's, I don't know, I'm still thinking. No, the more aggressive is the more successful to perpetuate the species. And it's the design. It doesn't matter what the society tells you that, those jerks, are some, yeah, we need to be politically correct these days, we don't talk about women like that, we don't think of the woman like that, we don't think the guys are jerks, and those are political bullshit. The way we are designed deep in the DNA is to procreate, so feed our bodies, and when we have enough energy and resources and we have enough food, then we connect and we pop kids. That's the nature of things. That's the way we are here. Thousands and thousands of years later, we are still surviving because of that type of aggressive attitude, which is built in. So without the need for feeding our bodies, then there would not be a reason for you to get up. You would think, I want my margarita, my veggie margarita, on the beach with my clothes body, not using the fiber and those. It's like my body is clothed up using plants and all that. Okay. So if you look at those people who don't need to push themselves and don't need to grow in order to survive, and if you look at those guys who end up or who dream of being on the beach, for how long they can last on the beach, for how long they are going to drink the margarita and enjoy the sunshine, maybe a couple of months, maybe a year or two, then the human instincts inside, they make them get bored. Yeah, I had enough margarita, I need to do something, I need to get up and do something. It's built in. And also the UV rays would burn your skin, you would die just sitting outside on the beach. You have to do something with your body, like it's a value, added value to the matter, that you need to use it. So if you stop using your body, then you decline, and when you decline, that means you are getting closer to the grave. And all these things are being built by this creator, because creator, in his thinking, or the way the creators envisioned us and the world, they knew the past, the future. Maybe they experimented a little bit in the past or something. But if we have psychics who can see ahead, thousands of years or hundreds of years ahead, so we have history samples, people predicting the future with exact events. I'm not talking about Nostradamus. Nostradamus came up with some sort of a language that can have some interpretations, but there were other psychics. So if humans are able to predict the future, do you imagine the creator? A creator, if there is one, was able to foresee, oh yeah, if I make this one this way, it's going to end up this way. No, I don't want that. So the programming. So another thing is, we are we have a freedom of choice. We are not totally controlled by this creator. We have some freedom of choice, but we are like artificial intelligence programs that we are learning and we are evolving, and we have some sort of a purpose. Purposeless people are not only useless, but they die. I mean, they die. They just waste their energy here, and at some point they have to be deleted. I mean, you can give me hundreds of examples of people you may know that they are just wasting their lives, but in actuality they actually help others. Being a time waster or even being on a government assistance, it helps other people, so other people have a job, or the money moves around, the social services and all that, because of such people who waste their lives. If there was nobody wasting their lives, these social services that actually help connecting people, and they do some research, they move the economy as well. It's all connected. uh, I'm not saying without these social services the life would not exist, but the world is kind of so connected that when you uh, take one person out, other people feel the need, or not the need, but feel the importance of the person who is gone. Now, why these creators or creator included the hunger and feeding the body, like I said, is for personal growth, because everyone has a purpose here. And according to our type of feels and attitude, if we don't feel that we have to work or chase or do something and push ourselves to do something in order to feed our bodies, probably we would just kill time, and we would waste energy resources, and our lives here on earth. So we were built from the beginnings with a body into this dense form of energy, with a body that requires food. And when it was taught to be part of this ecosystem. When things are getting recycled, so this natural world, it's a system that recycles itself and sustain itself with some God's intervention, supervision, whatever is there. I don't know. I'm just making things up. But it's a perfect system that it's in a good balance until some people or even some animals might overeat or might overuse some other resources below them. But otherwise, that's the design. So from the beginning, when the system was built to grow and evolve and stuff like that, it was taught. It was the initial idea. Okay, we'll create some bacteria, we'll evolve this bacteria, we'll change the DNA, the code in here, we'll make it more complex and more complex, but we'll start with the need of feeding these bodies, these cells, with fuel, and where the fuel comes from. So I can fuel the atoms to last forever, or to do their thing internally forever, including the planets and molecules and stuff. I make a very stable system, but now we need to make this material creatures, the ones that have intelligence, and they need to grow and discover and multiply and evolve according to the plan. And everything is connected, and also in order to recycle the system, it's by itself, like this thing, the body is getting eaten, the stuff decomposes, and the decomposed body is being eaten by other creatures and all that. You know that from the school. So in order to feed everyone, it was a kind of initial thought. Okay, we need to kind of make things that nobody is hungry here. So we cannot start with this species and let them to multiply or overgrow or something like that. We have to kind of adjust and come introduce or remove certain species to restore some of the balance, so everyone stay fed. And while they feed their bodies, they move the body around, so that energy that comes from food, which is coming from another species, another alive species, because rarely you see um, creatures, the alive creatures, feeding on a dead matter or non-organic matter. Rarely you see a, a biological creature able to feed on dirt that doesn't contain any biological matter, feeding on rocks or something like that. So you won't see those things. So this biological matter is the support for other creatures, so it keeps recycling, and rarely something it goes to waste. And the amount of biological material, which is a condensed, other type of condensed form of energy, is well calculated to last the whole ecosystem. Even we appear that we keep growing, we kind of multiply. We are 7 billions of people, but 7 billions of people, where this all meat comes from, we overeat something. So something grows here, something declines there. So at some point there's going to be a God intervention, or maybe just the nature itself is going to self-regulate. So some disease will show up, it will start wiping out some of the humans. Those humans will die and will feed other microorganisms. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the dogs, the hungry dogs, will eat the dead bodies. Who knows? But yeah, that's kind of so my fantasy is that we are all designed to into this condensed form of energy. We are designed to eat, and it's part of the growth, which in turn makes us do things and grow and build and conquer and, I don't know, be curious and discover, because there is a bigger plan for us. So all these discoveries that appear that is our own intelligence are actually is kind of a pre-program what we need to discover. And I mentioned my fantasy in different other video, how about how the inventors bring ideas at the same time, like around across the world, and where this idea come from. So it's like this world is meant to go certain way, in certain scenario. But in order to get there, we need the food. We need to first, we had to be created, had to be invented some sort of ecosystem. And over the time, the ecosystem is kind of stable and ready. The humans have everything, animals, they discover, they grew, they built and stuff. And now they start making things more complicated, and at some point they are going to discover the other dimensions, how what's after death, how souls are moving around, like these forms of energy, and what's the mind. So people start discovering things like long time it was believed that the brain is the same with the mind, and we have the brain and this big processor there that does lots of things, makes us think. But now there are scientists who come out and, they have the balls to go against the status quo and the currents, and they have the courage to say, seems that consciousness is something, some sort of form of energy. Oh yeah, you just woke up, eh? You just woke up. You never heard of yogis and people long time, 2000 something years ago, saying that, right? You didn't want to believe because that was bullshit. It was some sort of a religious weird stuff. No, so People who have closed minds, they think they know everything because they have some sort of education, and I've seen that. When you deal with someone who has some degree, if you don't tell them, I have the degree too, and they look at the way you talk, the way you dress, the way what car you drive, and they start having some attitude. Not everyone, but so they think, oh yeah, what is what's God? Yeah, that's religious stuff. It's like for those guys who need some sort of a guidance and they go to church because they can't guide themselves by themselves, right? That's lots of scientists think that way with some sort of an arrogant attitude. But anyway, so that was my fantasy today. 30 minutes into the video, so see you later. And don't watch this type of stuff because you might get poisoned, like mind poison. You may start to believe stuff, and you may start acting like me. All right, you may do some stupid stuff, getting in trouble with the spouse. See you later. Bye bye.